All right, all right, all right. What's up? What's up? Let's talk about the pain at the pump. Pumps and a bump is what Trump has done to y'all. That's what Trump done did. He done turned into the gangster version of MC Hammer on you dummies. Pumps and the bumps is just what Trump is doing to you. God damn it. God damn it. This goddamn pain at the pump is kicking the Trump lovers in they you know what. Man. I've been seeing prices jump at stations by 50 cents, 40 cents, 20 cents. And then the one I go to, that mug jumped, 20 cents. But they gas is already high. So I'm like, man, let me make sure I definitely fill up on Sunday I'm going to do it. Because gas per barrel has skyrocketed almost to the levels that are reminiscent of when Bush effed over the economy. And when Bush effed over the economy and gas is at $100 or oil was at $100 a barrel, gas prices were hitting like $5 something regular price. That's when I started using the bus like a bug. So I became an expert traveler of the rail and bus system. Wasn't no need to drive a vehicle, especially not in LA for the distances I was driving to sit in rush hour traffic. So I enjoyed my time riding the bus, doing my walking, catching a bus to travel clear on the other side of the city. But the shit going on now, because this fool is a complete idiot, has no understanding of how global economies work. Trump is a failed business dude. Trump is a dude who has never built shit in his life. He is not a success. He is a kid who has been headed down shit and has constantly lost money and doesn't give a damn about who he owes money back to. He has always had legal people around him. I think a bunch of his relatives or lawyers and shit like that. So he's understood by maybe consulting with them and getting an understanding of loopholes of where he can get around and not have to pay back loans that he's taken out. And the fact that the banks are certified institutions of idiots who, lend this money out to people with particular skin, and they don't go into judgment of character, credit reporting, and seeing whether or not these people will pay back. But once again, Trump has never developed anything. Trump has never built anything. Trump has never grown a company. Trump is a TV personality. Simple as that. This dude has failed at every goddamn step of the way. And then as we moving down from generation to generation to generation, new arrival of immigrant after new arrival of immigrant after new arrival of immigrant, new arrival of immigrants, we get them to where they don't know anything about the history of a lot of these dudes. They become citizens within this country. Some of their parents come over here and infest this country with the birth of some of these dummies. And they go in there, fall in the line, and with their love affair, Trump, because Trump reminds them of some of the corrupt people from the countries that their parents come from. And a lot of people don't take heed to that. That a lot of these people who are in this country are people who are used to corrupt regimes. They're used to regime changes, being ran by dictatorships. So they come here and they become accustomed and comfortable with that shit, to where most people with real American history, we don't rock with that shit. So now we're in this imbalance of all these people who come from these strange ways of governance, and where there's a single God. And the same thing they come with, love to highlight this shit, because my thing is to bring destruction and an awakening to people to kind of steering away from this program of control, mind manipulation, belief system, better known as religion, that they program people with, and the religions that spew out all type of bigoted ass hate shit that finds a way of making certain behavior very ill-mannered, devilish behavior in certain groups and certain people, of making it acceptable because they are labeled as chosen people and shit. And some dumbasses believe in that shit. But once again, Trump is pumping and the bumping of his stupid ass supporters, and especially the people within the trucking industry. As these prices skyrocket, The people in an industry that, bring the goods. These goods just don't arrive at your store. They don't arrive at your doorstep. And especially this shit to where everybody sits on these computer systems and they love to shop to find better and lower price deals. And Amazon, FedEx, UPS, the post office may be engaged in the online delivery. So they're doing these deliveries to your door. There's a lot of mileage being put on these vehicles on the highway. Well, now their cost has shot all the way to hell up. And the companies, these being publicly traded companies, Wall Street based companies, are not going to absorb the loss in profits because this dummy that they damn sponsor sat behind has decided to engage in some shit for a goddamn chump. Small hat. That word is catching on. I'm hearing a lot of people using that damn word, small hat. I can't take credit for it. That's a word that Brandon, probably the first person on the internet to use this shit. But small hats. And Benjamin Netanyahu that Trump falls in line with. And now the whole country's economy, as well as the global economy, be affected by this shit. And then now you also have the where China has pulled away its exports of fuel away from America. An axis of evil is what America has become. America has become one of the axes of evil. And that is at the doing of Donald J. Trump, the guy who would never start war, this Nobel Peace Prize beggar. But he has really lost his ways. And then now you get this report and what Trump and them are hiding. And I think a lot of American soldiers are losing their lives as well as civilians over in this other country. And they don't report none of this shit. But now it leaks out that is some shit while he up here at some damn meeting, because the only time Trump does some shit for Americans or in America is to dismantle with what they have going on, because now he's going after college athletes who are making money. So I don't know how he's going to go about that one, but he's trying to pull away from these dudes' ability to earn money. So NIL looks like Trump is going to be taking that shit away from you goddamn dumbasses, and a lot of you supported the motherfucker. And so that's what it is. It is what it is. And it should be what it is. And it's just simple as that. And you're getting what you're getting, and you're going to suffer from what you suffer. But when you're looking into the industry, so you're looking at people doing all this online shopping shit, the fact that Amazon, FedEx, UPS are possibly going to have to hiking up fees for what you buy off of there, because they ain't just about to run these trucks and absorb all of the costs from that shit and not tag on an additional price to customers to offset that, because they have shareholders there on Wall Street to satisfy pricing per shares on shit. They can't take them losses. So you about to get hit for the ones who like to shop online. So now the customer has to make an adjustment in their behavior. And now they shop less online, because now they have to worry about, can they buy this and that online? And now their fuel costs per week. Some people got vehicles that are fishing. They can do a per month thing. Let me see. Says, I know you're not watching. Oh, here go Deuce in here bragging about his sorry ass Clippers because they got a lead. He don't know basketball. He happy they got a little lead here in the first half of the game. But going back, and I'll read that text later, Deuce, because I'm on live. But so he threw me off my point. Hold on, let me go back. Let me see. But I was talking about the FedEx shit about with these dudes. The family people have to make the adjustments. So families having to make adjustments on whether to shop this shit online that they do, buy their Starbucks. So it starts having a ripple effect throughout the goddamn economy based on the people who this country wants to peel every nickel and penny out your fucking wallet. So now where you start holding back on your dollars. For the chicks who love to do the Starbucks shit, they having to do less of that shit because they have to worry about their consumption of fuel throughout the fucking work week and the school week. So now you cutting back on all this shit because you got to balance this shit out. Some people have to hit the fuel station maybe every week. Some people can go every 2 weeks based on the distance of travel throughout their day from school to work, and then how efficient their damn vehicles are. And now you got the damn truckers who really have to fucking play this balancing act when it comes to their income or their little share of revenue. And then some of them do this. Some truckers do the what do they call owner op shit, where they do leasing of the trucks, and they really have to play this balancing act of finances and shit. They have to balance out their maintenance, and fuel is a big, heavy part of their expenses, like a motherfucker. And now they have to worry about how far these loads go, how much the damn dispatcher or whatever they call them for. It's another, what's the other word for the dispatcher? Yeah, I think it's dispatchers, or whatever the company is giving for these fucking loads in the distance. And now they have to balance out how much in fuel, because that fuel shit can chip away at how much they get to bring home. That's about to be the critical shit that this dummy in the White House and the dummies all throughout America who have no understanding of politics, no understanding of economics, and they just vote on shit based on how much they didn't seen a nigga exposed on TV, how much retarded shit he says, because half of them retarded, and he makes being retarded a fun and a popular thing. And then they start getting hit in their fucking pockets, and then they start crying like the shit I've been seeing all goddamn day today. Crying. And I'm laughing, but I'm like, wait, crying too, because I seen the prices going up like, God damn, that shit affected me too. But I love to see motherfuckers go through this pain, especially when I know they're Trump lovers. But these truckers about to be eating that shit. And then now they about to deal with the pain of no more illegal immigrants driving these trucks and shit. Because the American operator has to really focus in on how to become financial accountants. And they bounce out everything. They look at them damn receipts and let me see how much fuel I need. Let me see, maybe I can get about 150 to get me there. I'm gonna have to run my truck, let the generator. Well, I ain't gotta really leave the truck running because it ain't as hot. It's kind of cool. I don't need to run the AC. I get some extra blankets. I save that shit for when I got to do. What truckers got to drive every 8 hours? Or do truckers get 10 hours on the road? Then they got to pull over, shut down. So at least I ain't got to run my truck. It's still cold months. Woo woo. But they got to balance all this shit. And the average dumb motherfucking American don't look at this shit from the aspects of these industries that are inside of America. The cost is about to go up for the airlines with what they paying for fuel, and you about to have every single effect that's about to ripple through the fucking economy. Maybe the price and shit on Amazon goes up because Amazon got planes, they got these trucks, all that shit. So that's where this fool fucked around. And the Iranians played it smart by fucking up these other oil producing countries, blocking these motherfucking what do they call them motherfuckers? These shipping lanes, wherever they transport something, the straits are these what do you call that? Canal? No, what do you call it? Like the canals, whatever shit. I'm thinking like the Panama shit. But blocking that shit, not allowing the imports and exports of fuel, or the export of fuel coming out from out that region, and attacking anybody associated with America. And then so now you get to the point to where now Russia is in this shit. China is in this shit. Homie, it's about to get funky than a motherfucker. And Barron Trump, where the fuck is you at, you goddamn mutt? Where the fuck is this mutt named Barron Trump, Eric Trump, and Donald Jr. Trump? Because the daddy a damn bone sparrow, draft dodger motherfucker who love to start wars. And it's crazy that the motherfuckers who love to start wars never fighting these motherfuckers. That's the most comical shit to me. HVAC, so, and then we still doing a Friday show. We're going to go on a backup show, so I ain't going to be on here too long. I just want to clown and gloat about this rise in fuel shit. When Donald Trump talking and led all this feared shit, if you vote for Kamala and the Democrats, the gas prices will be fucking $8 and all this shit. Well, it looks like we're heading on that way with the guy who made the claims that it might head that fucking way. This is some comical shit because we live in a country full of fucking idiots who, when you let a retarded motherfucker stand as a leader, retarded motherfuckers feel comfortable because now they got somebody they can relate to with more of that dumb shit. Oh, I love it. I love the suffering that these motherfuckers is going through. I love it. And then, so let me go back into the comments. He says, yeah, I see it. Says, I live in Dallas, Texas. Says last week it was 280. Says now it's 380. Damn, y'all went up a whole Monday about to kick ass. Monday about to hit. This gas station from at the Arco I don't go to, that motherfucker jumped 40 cents one day. Then that motherfucker jumped like another like 45 cents or some shit. Then it's another service station I don't go to. They shit was $3.30 something. That shit jumped almost 60 cents today. I say, damn, and I watched that market. So guess what's happening in the stock market? Guess how many of these rich motherfuckers is going broke, homie, tied in this stock market shit. It's billionaires who done lost a lot of value in their fucking accounts or whatever it is on paper that they're worth and shit. And then Matthew Warren and Bill says I was having an argument, says 3 nights ago, says about how Trump had lower gas prices than Biden. Says, and then the next morning, says the gas is back up, says the $3, says because of the war of choice, not necessity. Yep, the war of this fool doing this shit for fucking for the Hitler motherfucker, fake Jewish Holocaust ancestry, Benjamin Netanyahu. And then for the fact he wants to try to take steam, he wants to take heat off this Epstein shit, which the Epstein shit ain't dying. All things can happen all at once. And it ain't gonna die the fuck out. Because some other shit came out that I've been hearing going around about the teen girl speaking about Trump abusing her and her biting his little fucking pecker and the motherfucker beating the girl up. And it's an underage girl. More of this shit coming out. They about to pull that other whore, Bondi, who Trump is going to fire right after that shit. Like I've been saying. I said what was going to happen to Kristi Noem. Bondi about to go. A bunch of these other motherfuckers is about to quit. A bunch of them attorneys in the Department of Justice is quitting. And Pam Bondi about to get her walking papers. It's about to be a great fucking show. And this war is about to get funky. It's about to get funky. And then he talking this Cuba shit. It's about to get funky. They warned him about this shit with Putin. But no, he don't listen to nobody. He's smarter than everybody. Putin about to make this shit funky, homie. When Putin landed in Alaska and was looking like, oh, this looked like my new home, homie. Oh, you flying them little measly ass planes? Oh, one day I'm a sister country and blowing them motherfuckers up. But I'm here, bitches, and y'all ain't about to drop shit on me. I'ma laugh at it. Got this bozo motherfucker that's y'all president who know he's scared of me. Look at this. Then Trump went over to China that one time. The Chinese punked the hoe. Made him wait in the building while the Chinese president load up in his car, dip out with his regime. Trump playing like right in front of him. He made other people walk. He waited the Chinese nigga leave like a weakling. The Chinese people hit a U-turn first. They bust a U-turn around that nigga planes and then rolled out because they know he a bitch. And the Velasquez says, what up, nigga? Conversations, man, with intelligence. Always remember that. And the Bougie Barbie says, hey to myself in the chat. And then Matthew says, it's the axis of Epstein. I like that one. This is the Trump and Benjamin is the axis of Epstein, a.k.a. the axis of evil. Y'all remember that World War II shit? Half of y'all don't because you ain't paid attention to school and ain't learned shit. That's why a lot of y'all buying the conspiracies and shit. HVAC says, I know in California and New York, says it's very hot. Says, and you are right. Absolutely always right, man. And he says, I haven't thought about Uber / DoorDash. Says, boy, so them prices are about to go up high because that's what was the mistake in the Bush economy. Outside of September 11 fucking shit up in the U.S. economy. And then when fuel prices jumped up, that was everything because America's so dependent on that shit. Everything we drive is so dependent. That's why that electric car shit became such a hot thing to move towards. Is because of this very shit right here going on with this dummy starting this fucking war. Is to remove our dependence on that shit. Renewable energy, solar fuel, fucking all this other shit. Hydropower energy, wind power energy, solar panel energy to remove your dependence from this shit. And it's eating motherfuckers. Eating. And then they can affect the grid. You can't, and then you can't go solely off of battery power shit. Because the next thing they got to guard against, like a motherfucker is out here, is the energy grid. Let these fools make one little penetration into this damn country. Oh my God. Oh my God. And then just like Trump knowing he fucked up trying to talk about these fools surrender. Them niggas like, nigga, we ain't there about to talk to you. Negotiations is out of the fucking equation, homie. Y'all gonna end up leaving this motherfucker. That's about all you gonna get. Surrender, conversations, any of that shit is a no-no, absolutely. And then Matthew said, but I want to see how strong Iran is, how long they stand up to this shit. And if Trump, I don't buy no information from Trump, Fox News, none of that shit. You listen to Fox News, you're an idiot. But even Fox News is starting to turn on this fool. Because if it was the case, this war would be over with. The war in Gaza will be over with. War in Ukraine and Russia be over with, and it ain't. And then Matthew says, since the Spurs are a little tired tonight, since the starters played around 35 minutes last night all against Detroit. And then HVAC says this is a trucker named Big Ward on YouTube. Says he was just talking about the gas prices, Reg. Yeah, man, all them motherfuckers. That's when you watch anything related to truckers or all that shit, even people who do the RV and shit. You worry about them fuel prices. Them trucks got big ass tanks. Them trucks don't get many miles. They because of the size of their tank, they can go a pretty great distance. But the per gallon, the motherfucking trucks doing like 8 miles per gallon and shit. So you draining that shit. That's why they try to get them to drive these slow speeds. You get some truckers that love to haul ass to try to get from point A to point B, not realizing how quick they depleting their damn what do you call it? Not the reserve, but depleting the efficiency of that fuel, that load of fuel. By driving too hard, driving too fast, trying to do 80. I think the efficient cruising speed for a big rig is like what, 65 or some shit. Anything above that shit, you lowering the damn miles per gallon and shit. Them trucks already burned. They got big ass engines in the mugs. And then don't be coming on the west where you gotta go through all these mountains and shit. And you too heavy. Like, man, these truckers about to feel this shit. They about to feel this shit. Niggas gotta start selling shit. Let me get rid of this extra car. Let me get rid of them bikes. Let me get rid of them jet skis, that boat. Let me get rid of this shit. They got to start selling shit. Depending on how long this shit goes. It's probably going to go for a long time. And these prices going to continue to fucking spike. I mean, that shit, I don't remember paying attention to gas like that when Bush was in there about the daily hikes and shit like that. But now I look at this shit. I don't think I ever seen 50 and 40 cent jumps. Like back-to-back jumps like that is crazy as fuck. And the Vice Cuz says, hey, Cuz says, you hear, what is that? Tucker Carlson says, keeping it funky, says on the war. Yeah, he keeping his shit funky now because Trump done criticized his little kiss ass. Tucker Carlson, a bitch, all of them, they all doing what I said these bitches gonna do. They gonna have a falling the fuck out. The minute they no longer say the shit Trump directs them to say, the minute Trump gonna call them out. And then they're going to be painted as bitches in the world of Trump. And then they're going to flip on the same way that little dingy bleach head bitch did. Marjorie Taylor Greene, been predicted. I know these motherfuckers. I'm scientific when it comes to backwood, redneck, bigot motherfuckers who push white supremacy and shit. I know these motherfuckers. I know everything about them. I can map these niggas of how shit going to play out with them. How all this shit gonna play out with these motherfuckers. Niggas is crazy. That's what bugged me out with them niggas in the LDBC when they talking all that fearful shit, talking about Trump first term, like the white people about to go crazy. You gotta get your arms up. And I'm listening like, what the fuck these niggas talking about? Like these niggas ain't about to do shit. About to be paranoid. They pussified, just like a lot of black niggas is pussified. Some blacks scared of them. They scared of the majority of them scared of black folks. Black folks ain't got the heart to do nothing to them, allow themselves to be disrespected by these motherfuckers. And then talking about all they gonna do. That's why black people use the supremacy word, the other word. I don't got that other word in my fucking vocabulary when it comes to white supremacy. I don't use that shit. You other niggas use that shit. fucking empower these niggas, empower them to keep slapping you, treat you like bitches. You niggas be talking this shit, how you gotta change how you talk. That shit is weird to me. Shit is weird as fuck to me. And then Bougie Bari says, prices in my area says went up almost 80 cents in 2 days. Says I wasn't ready. Damn, that shit crazy. That shit make a motherfucker gotta go get a what's some cars that drive good? A Prius and shit. Yeah, and they need a Prius around this motherfucker. This shit about to be like how that last, matter of fact, the last time America got into the Iranian shit, that's when they were doing the oil shit. They were doing the rations to get gasoline and shit. That's where that shit come up. That's where all these small cars come from when these fools captured them damn hostages out there and began to put a fucking was it a fuel embargo or some shit that was going down where they end up not being able to get enough supply of oil and having to fucking restrict people going to the damn gas station. And then they start dealing with to where that shit hit Detroit. So going back about fucking over the economies and shit, that shit fucked Detroit over. Because now you start bringing it where, what is it called? Datsun, which is what, Nissan or some shit? And you start getting all these foreign-based cars. You start getting a lot of smaller foreign-based four-cylinder cars. When America used to love that muscle shit. Americans love a big-ass car. And then therefore, the big-ass cars is guzzlers. Now you get a smaller car brought in this motherfucker that is efficient and probably can drive 3 times the amount that American car was doing, probably even 4 times more fuel efficient than an American car off of each gallon. Niggas made quick switches. Like shit, we don't know how long this shit about to last, but I hate to leave my muscle car alone, but fuck this motherfucker. Shit, the hell with looking cool. I need to save some gas. But I think it's time to get Prius. Prius about to jump like a motherfucker. Who make Prius? Toyota. CJ in the building. Salute. He says it costs $100 or better. Says just to leave the house in Cali. Yeah, that shit is crazy for Californians. And this shit that I pulled up, because I think CJ's told me on Vermont and Imperial was what, $5.60 for regular fucking gas. This one I've seen is the one that has always had these sky high prices, and it was showing somewhere like near downtown. But see, I think the only thing that make me think this is fake is because you don't have to where there's a separation in the grade of fuel there, like between 87, but that might not be it. No, that might be right because I can't see it fully. It might be cash, credit, and then the other one may be another grade of fuel. But usually they like 10 cents separation in the grades of gas. But they said 781 on that shit. I would not be surprised if LA Gas can hit that price, and it probably will. It probably will. And then Trump and them acting like he don't give a fuck because Trump ain't paying for gas. Even if Trump had to pay for gas, the pricing of whatever it is doesn't affect him. He's a silver spoon kid. And now he's in a position where he can fuck over everything economically, putting into his account. And therefore, he still don't got to pay for fuel. The taxpayers pay for it. His family probably ain't got to pay for it. Trump don't give a fuck because he don't give a fuck about you. Trump ain't no fucking American. That's why he doing all this talking about all this foreign places his family from. His dad from Germany, his mama from some other shit. Like Trump don't give a fuck about none of you dummies. And then L5 player in the building, salute. And then Matthew says the prices of everything says it's about to go up. Says these megas voted for cheaper gas. For cheaper eggs. Says they got World War III instead. Says they got World War III instead of worse inflation. Yeah, they getting all that shit. They about World War III and sky high inflation. Then you got job numbers. And in mind, the job numbers that came out today, they say they expected 50,000 jobs to an additional 50,000 jobs in the job report that came out. In mind, Trump done fired the motherfuckers that was keeping the correct data to fire and put somebody in here to do his dirty work and be another yes man. And that motherfucker couldn't cook the damn job numbers books good enough that it showed a loss of 90-something thousand jobs. And the market reacted to that shit. This motherfucker is killing this country. He doesn't pay attention to what's happening in this country because he's too busy with his head up the asses of foreigners. Simple as that. ICE needs to take this damn immigrant motherfucker up out of here. This is the thing about, once again, coming to black people faking like fucking whole ass immigrants, bowing down to little clown ass chumps with certain complexion of skin. But other than that, keep treating these niggas like that. Treat the rest of them, because you ain't just treating black people like that. You're treating the whites like that too, because we all inside this country. And then Boujibari says, they said Barron can't join the military. He says, get this. Says he is too tall. Says, can you believe that shit? They do. And it's funny you bring that shit up. Me and the cat was talking earlier, because we both was having going over our history in the army, where we getting in all type of trouble and shit. And he was bringing up about a dude on the ship, because this dude was in the Navy, a dude on the ship who was like an inch. He was barely an inch under their height requirement. We had a dude, he was a lieutenant or some shit. I wish some of the homies from my unit was in here, like Drake and some of the other homies. This dude was a lieutenant. He was a fucking like he like 6'10" or some shit. It was like no way a motherfucker his height was supposed to be a tanker. I don't even know how he fucking got the job class, like whatever the job they chose for him coming out the officers academy, where he was even a tanker. This fool stand up in the damn, matter of fact, he don't even need to stand up, because in them hatches, there's like seats and stands that we stand on. You see people riding and standing through the hatches. You can see them. They ain't that tall standing on the ground of the tank. They only like seats that fold over. You stand on them and shit. So while you drive, they can look through the hatch. This fool can actually be on the floor of the tank and be looking out this motherfucker. Ain't no way he can fucking be in that tank. He'll snap his neck or break his back from being that damn tall. Let that tank hit some shit, have a little rollover. That fool is dead, like too tall. But once again, they let that fool in. But there are height requirements for certain things. You can't be too tall to be being a pilot. You can't be too tall because them cockpits are very small. Helicopter pilots, probably being on the ship. That's why you don't see very tall ass people in there. Like, not at all, depending on what, the type of jobs. You want to be a tall dude in infantry as well. There's certain limitations to where people can go, like for certain things, even like the military. You remember how in the army, in the movies, they always show you the big buff ass dude. For war, that shit ain't, being that size ain't effective. You ain't doing hand-to-hand combat, so you don't really need people with all that mass. That's why when you look at a lot of the special forces people, they ain't all buff like how you used to see your G.I. Joe cartoons and some of the war movies where they looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger and all that shit. Arnold Schwarzenegger be an inefficient soldier. He'd be physically strong in a hand-to-hand combat situation. Wouldn't none of them dudes be able to fuck with somebody that massive and shit. But as far as a soldier, where you're using guns, having to rappel down shit, swim, run long distance, be dropped behind enemy lines on your own, then they got smaller dudes, smaller, slimmer, probably not bony ass skinny, but people who are very strong and slender and shit. So you don't use massive dudes or being too big and shit. That's what the military start to figure out with shit. And then, but Barron Trump is a piece of shit. Fuck that punk. And the Vlasica says they ain't gonna stop until they until Tiny Hat says get what they want. Says too many politicians, says on both sides are brought but that's why I like what I heard Gavin Newsom say about that motherfucker. Said fuck this Israel shit. Fuck them. And more people waking up. But the problem is that so many motherfuckers sat back, especially black people, sat back too long. It ain't the elders, it's the younger generations of motherfuckers who like, fuck this. This ain't our country and this and that shit. And never want to get into to voting and any of that shit. And have allowed these motherfuckers to just infiltrate and fill the political slots of this country. And roll these motherfuckers in. Get enough numbers, voting these people in. People, they go unchecked. Niggas ain't going to the polls, going to vote for shit. They constantly running these people in there. These people who are aligned with their outside the country interests. Because that's where they come from. That's where their heart is. And then we get to this point where we got a whole ass president who's in the back pocket and on the strings of a foreigner. And then the rest of the politicians that sit in Congress and shit, who are also in the same predicament, come from over in these other countries. These countries where they used to it being ran by some autocratic motherfucker, fascist pieces of shit. And then they bring that shit here. That's why you be having to deal with these foreigners. I know I do. Anytime I go to the store and I'm around a foreigner, I had to check these motherfuckers. But I do them. I look at them like they don't belong here. Like I say, I do what they think they do it. Shit just don't work on me. My experience is different with racism than other people. And then Carly, how you say her name? Carly or Carl says the slave party, aka the Democrats, has caused more problems that we can count. And he says the party that is still controlling the minds of the deceived minions. Bro, you sound like a fucking Trump minion retarded motherfucker. That shit work on stupid Negroes, not I. I'm a little too intelligent for that kind of shit. You came to the wrong channel, Carl. This shit don't work over here. That shit work on dumb Negroes and a mass majority of stupid ass whites. As simple as that. This shit ain't got nothing Republican. You divided like a fucking idiot. That's that retarded white supremacy shit that got your ass caught up on that shit. This America, ho. You a fuck about that shit. Republicans is fucked up. But they fucked up because they go to the trailer parks. They go up into them hills. And they got y'all all the way fucked up. This is why this gas price fucking y'all. But some of y'all live in them hillbilly shit. Y'all don't drive nowhere until y'all gotta make a run to a far away ass store. And then concentrate on y'all food stamps. Let me not forget that. Y'all gotta make them long ass drives and one person's pickup truck on food stamps. And the Conchondre says the truth is that this fake and illegal tariff bullshit has been about the Trump administration's agenda to rip off working Americans. Says costs for food, gas, and services have been rising, not falling. Absolutely, Conchondre. Absolutely. And the dumb people of this nation do not get that shit until they start to feel that shit. That's why, once again, Trump done bent these niggas over, and then when hammer time, pumps in the bump on their ass. And now they feeling at these gas pumps. So when you're at the gas pump, you know how they had the little commercials and videos that play at the gas pump? Pumps in the bump need to play for you, motherfucker. You should ask, did you vote for Trump? All right, here you go. Number one hit single from the Trump administrations. Pump in the bump, God damn it. And then your motherfucking account just draw up. And then Bougie says Russia used to own Alaska. Says, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was always part of the plan. But that was back in like the 1800s or some shit. I think they sold that shit hundreds of years ago. And then Matthew says, yes, we brought Alaska from a Russian. Oh, yeah, see, there you go, in 1867. And then Conchondre says electric vehicles are not very efficient. Says it never have been. Says the only reason it ever has they ever had legs here, says because a billionaire made it a business model. Says it ain't better for the environment neither. I don't see why Teslas wouldn't be effective for the environment. I don't see nothing that wrong with them. I think that, but as time goes, they're gonna start becoming more efficient. Like right now, what are they doing? The 300-mile range and all that shit. That's not efficient. But once they start approaching like the 500-mile range, the 7 and all that shit, it'll blow it out the water. But then you start to get gas powered vehicles that are becoming extremely efficient, especially with the battery power systems to the cars and shit. And then Matthew says, are we lowering flags? Says for U.S. service members killed in Iran. Says in the Middle East. Says, or is it just for racist podcasters? Facts. It's for a little piece of shit, worthless motherfucker Charlie Kirk under the Trump administrations. And then you get an Indian motherfucker talking about some Valhalla shit. And then Bougie says, yes, that was it. Says people used to have to stand in line for gas. Says back in the day, says hoping to get gas. Right. Yeah, I'm going Monday to fill my shit up with this high price shit. I'm like, damn, I want to see. But then again, because I be even putting my kids on. That's why I like this shit. I like the experiences of the Trump fuck up. Because now it points to where we can pay attention to shit, point out shit, and they get to see how things work. So now when they becoming adults, they have to balance these things out. And my kids look at that shit now. It just start to rub off on them. They'll bring up some shit looking at pricing and this and that. And then so with gas, they've been seeing the gas do these jumps because I always paid attention to gas and I look at it like Okay, that gas has been staying steady for a number of weeks. It ain't jumped up. Okay, jumped like 5 cents. It went down 8 cents, back up 4 cents, all that kind of shit. So we pay attention. So now they've been saying this shit, 50, this and that, and they like, even they saying like, damn. But now we're going to breaking it down from how it works through an economic standpoint of how it hits everything, affects everything. It's going to hit the things dealing with trucking, especially. And trucks bring everything we shop and need. And then now you got to start watching those little incremental adjustments. The stores ain't going to tell you about it. The store's going to try to sneak that shit in there. Because on top of the stores, got to do this. Stores done been losing money from this dummy, from the tariff shit. Stores been, that's why the store's suing them. Because the stores observed it. The store has been trying to absorb as much as they can. But now they're ready to sue the government to get their money back. And then now this shit about to hit. Ooh, we double whammy. And then Velasquez says, check out that interview, says on FluTube, says with Tommy G, says and retired Colonel Douglas McGregor. Why did I see a name from a Douglas McGregor come up? Wait, did you send me some shit on that shit? Somebody sent me some shit on that shit. And then because that McGregor dude name sound familiar. And then Matthew says we might be heading, says, to a place where you can only buy gas is based on license plates digits, says on certain days, says to force everyone to ration fuel. It says if this Iran thing continues, it's gonna continue. It's gonna continue. And I want it to continue because Trump is wrong. Not America's wrong. Trump is wrong. That pussy ass nigga Hegseg is wrong. And talking all that tough shit. And you best believe they probably got somebody situated plotting on them pussy ass niggas. Like, fuck them. They don't represent America. Niggas dirt bags. And the Congress people that sit back and watch these motherfuckers is gone. But maybe Congress is sitting back there and just letting the accounts of what they're doing just continue to run. But we got election about to come up too. And a lot of these motherfuckers are going to be gone who don't do shit. And then we get the dummy up out of here. And then Matthew says I can't find anyone in Trump's family, says, that ever served in the military, because they ain't. Even his grandfather, which brought the little disgusting family over here, was running from a war situation in his own country, like the hoe that the family is. Conshardi says the average white American says just as far under the thumb as any other group in America. That's a fact. Says the oppression wielded by the system is levied mainly on all working class people, and that's a fact. And then Bougie Barbie says 92,000 says plus jobs, says you're right, were lost. 90,000 plus lost jobs. 92,000 plus jobs were lost in the economy. When Trump and was trying to predict we're going to have this much job growth, and they didn't get a thing. That job growth shit said, boom, nigga, get the fuck out of here, bitch. Yo, you a dummy, Trump. Nigga ain't about to produce no jobs. Ain't nobody hiring shit. I've been making it take another drive down the strip because the strip is dead still. This motherfucker's an idiot. An economic disaster that niggas who got COVID checks thought Trump was good for the economy because these low-life motherfuckers received some fucking side money that they thought Trump was good and healthy for the economy. Congress pushed that shit out because of a fucking pandemic. This damn disastrous ass president know what the fuck he was doing. He ain't never knew what he was doing. He's stupid. The fuck niggas thought. L5 player immigrant nigga voted for the nigga. And he says Cali should start digging for oil again. Don't they have great gas deposits? I'm not in the fuel industry. I would not know. I'll be guessing and I'll be one to be wrong. Says that they shut off. Says America says should never stop digging for oil. Says ever again. Says until better energy sources are discovered. Better energy sources are discovered. Fool, what are you talking about? That's why you got solar energy, you got hydro energy, and you have wind energy. Like, what are you talking about? And then Conshari says sorry, but y'all don't have them in y'all states because y'all back on the East Coast, y'all get all that snow and all that other shit. And then Conshari says if there were a draft, says you bet your life, says that Barron Trump says won't be mandated to enlist. No, Congress ought to push that shit. Congress ought to push shit to where political motherfuckers, but then they won't vote because they don't want their kids in the wars that they know motherfuckers gonna die in. Pussy ass motherfuckers. And then we vote for these retarded ass people. Their kids should be served, especially their sons. And the Conshani says the bougie says there hasn't been a son or daughter of any president says who has served during wartime since FDR. I'm about to say, wait, since FDR, who? I'm about to say Kennedy served in, but his father wasn't a president. And then Conshani says it's about privilege. The bougie says, the Conshani says, I'm not surprised. Says, damn, hold on, my eyes is hurting me like a mud. That's why I'm struggling with reading some of y'all shit and blinking. That's why my eyes low like I'm high. I should have took a nap. Says that's one of the reasons. Says they don't mind going to war. Says not their people. And then we'll get ready to start this Friday show. So let's hold off on these comments so we can go in there and well, I guess the Clippers playing. So Deuce gonna probably wait till the sorry ass Clippers done. Then we'll do the backup channel. Conchardi says, right, says they never stand to says to lose anything. Bujibari says anybody still voting for Republicans today are idiots. That's a fact. With the current Republicans you got there, Republicans that kiss an old punk ass dude, Trump ass, you're a fucking idiot. And anybody who think of that shit, these old divisive ass motherfuckers. And they're talking about the Democrat, this shit. Man, Democrats gonna do more for you than the fucking Republicans. And any nigga don't see through that shit is just dumb. Dumb as fuck. I don't get how much niggas talk about this shit. Niggas who out here say that shit is dumb. Influenced by the Jedi mind tricks of nigga that own you niggas still to this day. And then Matthew says Democrats and Republican parties says are not the same from 1865. Says when LBJ says the Dems has passed civil rights legislation in the 1960s, the South switched from Democrat to Republican. And then Conshani, and that's fact. Conshani says that Carl says you're wrong, says about the one party being a slave party and the other one being a hero to the people. Says party got nothing to do with it. Says this is about the policies and the philosophy of the people involved. And a motherfucker like Carl is a dummy. Sitting on the internet, following groups because he ain't got no belonging and shit, can't think, want to be down with some shit, and just rock with it. And the bougie says, research says Putin wants Alaska, says even in 2024, says Putin has talked about reclaiming Alaska, says crazy but true. Kalshani says, in fact, says I advise people, says vote per the candidate, not the party. TB in the building, salute. But some of the candidates going falling in line with what they party putting out. That's why the most stand-up thing, even though this lady is a bitch still, was the shit the Marjorie Taylor Greene chick did. And the Velasquez says, no, says I ain't saying that. Says that retired colonel says breaking down how Iran will hold their own and don't believe anything 40. I don't believe nothing that comes from this Trump administration or none of that Fox News shit, anything attached to that nigga. They lie like a motherfucker. You don't even got war journalists there on the scenes and around none of that shit. Velasquez says that, but now they report come out about fucking Russia providing them with the logistics where soldiers. So that was like telling me like soldiers over in this motherfucker dying. And then it come out that Trump and Melania tended some dignified soldier shit. So I'm like, more of these niggas is getting killed. They want to hide the numbers because they don't want a Vietnam type shit going down. And the Velasquez says the Zio Tiny Hat says, I like the Mexican Bartels. Says straight viruses that causes nothing but issues. Absolutely. And folks, that's all I got. We'll be on the backup channel, see what topic we'll cover. I think we'll cover like Iran or some shit. And then the salute to OG Bruce Gas. So give us about an hour or so. I know Deuce be watching these weak ass Clippers who I think are winning against San Antonio right now, but they probably still lose the fucking game. Trust me. Trust me when I say San Antonio will come back and beat the Clippers. I'm just putting it out there. San Antonio will come back and beat the fucking weak ass Clippers. Then nigga Deuce gonna be mad. He probably don't even jump on the show. That shit happened. But folks, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out. Watch how Wemby rallied that team back. And that Deuce tried to send me, man, look, Wemby went to the locker room. He was hurt. I said, watch Wemby come back and go for 40 on y'all whack ass. So we'll see. And then let me see. Y'all throwing too many comments. I'm about to end this one. Go on the backup channel now. It says there are Democrats who defected over to Republican Party and vice versa. Says after dudes who ran in the primary against Trump 224 says were former Democrats. And then Matt says smash the like button. Yes, indeed. And then Matthew says if Trump is against the supposed Democrat slave party, says then why is he renaming military bases after Confederate generals? Right. And it says cheers, salute to Khan Shanry. And then Bougie says, thanks, says see you later. Yes, indeed. We're gonna be on the backup channel about an hour. So once sorry ass Clippers lose this game, they winning by 20, and their lead is closing in and lose this game. I can't wait when we jump on that shit to laugh at my cousin. But that's all I got, folks. Peace.